You're a used car salesman that has been transported into a medieval fantasy world where you've become the hero that needs to slay the dragon and save the princess. Your only leveled up skill, speech 100. I do say, your highness, I said to the king, I am more than capable of saving your daughter, but I'll need more than a flimsy sword and rusty set of armor. The king narrowed his eyes at me, but I knew that I had already won this debate. He sent me off with a shining iron sword and a glistening set of steel armor. Next up, I had to train my stats. You see here, my fine fellow, I said to the head guard. The king had given me full access to the entire castle if I am to save his daughter, and I demand you step aside at once to let me in the training grounds. The guard sized me up, but stepped aside, glaring at me all the while as I strided past him to the training grounds. The training itself was embarrassing. Let's not get into details, but my melee skills were brought up by 15 at least. That was all that I needed. I walked out of the castle grounds towards the stables. I say, dear maiden, I said to the young woman tending to the horses. You look mighty fine for a stable hand. Oh, said the flustered woman. Thank you. It's a shame that I must start walking towards the Dragon's Keep by now, or I would certainly stay to chat. The girl pursed her lips. Dragon, you say? She asked. Sounds very serious. I mean, if you need a mount. Yes? I asked, raising an eyebrow. Needless to say, I got that horse. Not to mention a new admirer. I had one last stop. Oi, I shouted, as I confidently walked into the bar. Who's up for a little gold in their pockets? What say you about gold, little man? Asked a burly mercenary as he towered over me. Ah, just the kind of raw muscle I was looking for, my friend. I praised. You see, there's a dragon who has taken the king's daughter. Little thing, really, don't know how it managed to lift itself off the ground with those little wings. A couple minutes later, I had myself a dozen free mercenaries at my disposal. All it took was the good old talk of fame and fortune, and they were practically at my every beck and call. We rode our steeds to the lair of the great beast. Dismounting, we walked up the spiral stairs of the tower the dragon called home. After the dragon had a feast of mercenaries, I snuck my way over to the princess's cell. In retrospect, I should have taken the time to level my sneak stat as well. The dragon whirled around, and I instantly raised my hands up to surrender, dropping my sword. What's a menacing creature like you doing stealing princesses? I asked, as it approached. It stopped for a minute. Who would have guessed that it understood English? I tell you what, you fly us home, we pin this whole thing on the mercenaries, and you get the royal treatment for saving the princess. What do you say? The dragon looked from the princess's cell, to me, to the bones of its last meal, the unhired help. As you could imagine, the princess got home safely. The dragon spent the rest of its years being the symbol of the kingdom and having all the criminals it could eat, and I? Well, I have a date with a cute stable hand. Life is good.